Good morning, YouTube. Thank you once again for tuning in. I am Dkhairho, and you are now watching The Morning Coffee.
The morning coffee.
All right, you ready?
What you about to ask?
Just a series of questions.
You got questions lined up?
No, I don't have to do that. I ask questions. I know what to ask.
Okay.
But for one, don't think of me as dad right now. Think of it like you getting interviewed.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So one, for the camera, tell them who you are.
All right, man. It's your boy Darren Tanner, aka Cosmic. Make sure you check me out on SoundCloud whenever y'all get a chance. I need to open up my media a little more, so my pops always tell me. But for now, I'm on SoundCloud at Cosmic, all caps, KOZMC. So if y'all want to hear me, check me out.
Can I laugh right quick?
Go ahead.
I'm going to keep this too, but I'm going to laugh real quick because if somebody asks me what my name is, I'm going to say I am Dkhairho. I'm going to say Curse. I'm going to say Poncho. I'm not going to say my real name. No, it's all good. It's all good. Now they know what we birthed you as, and they know that you became a rapper as.
Oh, you right.
But so I guess I want to start out for one. I'm going to get into the whole cosmic and all of that kind of stuff. But how I want to start it out is we've been talking about today's music. We've been talking about you calling us old heads. You call me an old head. You refer to me as an old head, which is, it is what it is. I'm 42 going on 43. I'm not in tune into today's music as you are, just as when my dad used to ask me about music back when, I wasn't in tune to his style of music so much as, I guess I could say, no, I was probably more in tune to my dad's music than he was into our type of music from the 90s, which he always said was like space age or gang bang type music, wild type music, or stuff that you can't understand and you can't have decent conversation in. So the other day, while I was listening to my old music, I realized that I can't even hate on today's music as far as, I guess, what you guys talk about, I guess how you guys approach music, and it's more so because of the fact that from how my dad and them were into music back when, they approached music where they had to be more creative. They had to, I guess, use actual instruments. They had to know how to play. They had to know how to tune music. They had to know how to patch things in and create, you know, just the sound that they wanted. Whereas in my generation, it had gotten easier when we got the drum machines, which means that we didn't need a drummer anymore. When we got samplers, we didn't really need to have musicians as a whole in the studio with us. And then in today's market, you guys really got everything at your disposal, where, you know, sometimes when I ask you questions about what are you doing, how did you mix that, or what instruments did you choose, or when you come to me and say, hey, Reason don't have enough sounds, or what other sounds can I use, this, that, and the other, and I say create the sounds and Reason using the combinator or things like that. But when I listened to my old music the other day and the stuff that I was saying, one, we know I told the truth in my songs, or I use my life experience for the songs. But
you had characters.
And so I had characters, which was Curse, Dkhairho, Laura Williams. I had all my names. But I remember when I heard the song that you was playing, and I asked you, what are you talking about? First of all, because you was talking about drugs, you were talking about shooting up, then you was talking, you know, shooting guns. I'm not saying shooting up dope. But let me get to what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, it's different as a parent when you hear your child speaking a certain way in the music. And you say, Dad, it's just a vibe. This is just how we talk. I get it. I get it, especially because back when I was doing music, if you talked about it in the song, the streets was going to make you prove it. Differently than how y'all have to prove it now. So we could talk about Tekashi 6ix9ine. We could talk about a lot of rappers that are out there that are gang affiliated, but not necessarily gang bangers. And there is a big difference from the two. But back when I was out there, I guess the difference now is that you guys are on camera more than we were back then. Of course, we had video footage. We had all of that stuff back then. But now it's like everything you guys do is on camera. You guys even go take a shit and put it on camera. And that's just keeping it real. So there were a lot of things that, especially gangsters, gang bangers, or hoodies from my era, we didn't really want to be on camera because it was gonna get you some jail time. So help me, not as a dad, help me understand as a quote unquote old head what it is about today's music that attracts you to the sound that you choose, or the way that you choose your lyrics, the way that you choose your beats. Like, what is it? What are your influences?
Like, for today's music, it's not even really about, it's not about lyrics anymore, as you can see. Because I know you just, like, I know you probably just hear me in my room listening to other people's random stuff that I come across. And even sometimes I'm even in wow of what I'm actually hearing from those people, because it's just like, this is what gets you famous now. You don't need to necessarily write perfect anymore. Like, so like you got people like Davies, then you got people A$AP Rocky, like those type of people that still keep you intrigued. J. Cole, Drake sometimes, and then Kendrick Lamar that keep you intriguing to what you're listening to, and like they'll keep you going. Then you got your mumble rappers. The mumble rappers stay relevant because of their producer, and they won't admit that, because the producer is what keeps them in line, and then keeps them on social media, keeping them going, because their beats be so tight. Like even y'all generation can't lie. The beats ain't died. The beats ain't died. The rap died.
Okay,
So,
let me pause you real quick. Who came up with the term mumble rapper? Was it y'all, or was it?
probably y'all.
Wow. Okay. And then you saying the beats ain't died from what we had, but the lyrics died.
The lyric died. Yeah.
Let me debate this though, because we actually talked about stuff that was. Okay, I'm not gonna say y'all not talking about what's going on. I will say though, we talked about. Dang, this is gonna sound old, but we talked about what mattered to us. So when I hear you guys rapping today, I'm like, is that what matters to y'all? Staying high? I mean, having chicks here and there, I get it. It's all the same. But I guess it's the way that the message is delivered now. It's almost like you guys never come down off of a high.
But remember when we talked about before, when we had said y'all used to rap about dealing. Now we rapping about taking, which is worse. I know it's
so then we sold all y'all the dope, and then this is the product. Like, so we made drug babies, dope babies.
In a way, like y'all used to rap about like having it, selling it, how y'all gotta live off of it, how y'all gotta hustle. People now just rap about taking it, how high they could get, outlasting their high. But then you got people that's ODing and stuff. I mean, we like people like us now, we just mostly rap about it because that's what people into. That's the vibe. That's what get people going. And then when you like, you on stage, you got people throwing out weed to the crowd so they could get high. Keep them relevant while they're on stage. It won't matter to them, like, say somebody high.
Right.
They're gonna go on stage and not know what they're doing. So it's keeping them more pumped up. That's why you get the people jumping in the crowds and all that. Like, you got people more geeked up off of what they're doing, so it's gonna keep them. You can't really go on stage. I mean, you can go on. Of course, you could go on stage and not have to be off something to perform good. But when you don't care, you like more in tune, like you more in sync with your crowd.
Okay, so then let me throw this at you. You know who Busta Rhymes is?
Yeah.
You know buff Busta Rhymes. You don't know skinny Busta Rhymes.
I know Skinny.
Okay, Leaders
just
of the
from
New
you.
School.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes was always wild and crazy. Leaders of the New School was crazy. You had Digital Underground with Humpty. You know, the two personalities.
Yeah.
These dudes were crazy, but they didn't say what got them. If they was high as a kite, they did not say what it got them to the point where they were jumping around stage or creating dances or, you know, and I'm just throwing those two out there because that's who's popping in my head right now when I think Way Out and Crazy. And then when I think about, you know, the NWAs and when I think about the gangster rap of back when, or what was considered gangster raps, the Ice-T, 6 in the morning, police at my door. That was probably one of my favorite lines ever, and it was impactful. But I think the difference is that they told you a story and they made it believable in the sense where they probably weren't even high, they weren't under the influence of anything. Where today's music, and this is just coming, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if my thought process is just because of the fact that now I'm dad. So I'm thinking like, dang, when these kids are saying this and that, do they even know what they're bringing forth or what they're putting out into the atmosphere, which is weird because this is stuff that you hear grandparents talk about. But I think about it and then I have to go back and retract and say, well, damn, I was saying this, I was saying that. I was talking about my hood. I was talking about my life around people that I didn't like. I was talking about on some songs about being drunk. It was just, I guess you guys took it to another level in today's music. And it has to be because of the fact that I'm a father, that I'm a parent, an active parent, that it bothers me. I'm not even gonna say it bothers me. It just
throws you off.
Throws me off, put up my radars, whatever it may be. So when I hear, again, my son, you know what I'm saying, rapping about it, I'm like, dang, is this dude really out there doing this, or does he have the potential to do this? I get the vibe part. I get every aspect of the creativity part of music, just like when we talk about Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty says he don't even get drunk. He ain't really into that lifestyle. He's just rapping about it. I respect Lil Yachty for his hustle. I respect him for where he's at. Just like same thing with the Migos and all the popular groups now. I respect the hustle of it. Because like I tell you guys all the time, even when it came to basketball, when it came to, you know, you guys trying to pursue the things that you guys wanted to do, it was a matter of going to get it to make it happen versus waiting on somebody else to make it happen for you. But I guess if you had to make me understand how today's music is alive and my music is dead, I guess I can have a problem with that because of the fact that, like you guys always talking about Tupac and Biggie. Why were they so relevant and they not dope? I mean, do you feel that they not dope?
No, you already know. I mean, out of those two, Biggie was my favorite. I like Tupac, but like I stay more in tune with Biggie. I know the whole East Coast West Coast thing, but I just like Biggie more. I don't take especially growing up with you and growing up with your style of music, of course, I'll never take away from the legends before what we got right now because that was real rap. That was rap you have to actually...
he said real rap.
Yeah, like that's when you have to go in the studio and somebody say something. If you ain't got nothing, you getting kicked out, like. And then you already told me that, like, you know, based on your experience and when you was about to try to get in the rap game. I mean, you know, it's real. That was real rap. That's what you listen. Like, I still listen to that type of music. You know, like I got on my playlist Old Dirty Bastard, and I still listen like the old Jay-Z, the old Game, like stuff. I still listen to hip hop. It's not just all trap music or stuff you gotta always feel like you need to get high to and all that. Like, I just like the beats now. That's why I started making beats. Well, I mean, of course I started making beats because of you, but I started making trap type beats because I'm just like, okay, this is what's in. Then when you know you don't have to really do nothing anymore. Of course, Now, you got rappers everywhere now. Like, I can't even go down my feed without seeing at least 20 different rappers. But then you go through their comments and people like, man, what is this? Who is this? They like, damn, y'all really promoting this. Because it's just people, they know how easy rap is to get into now to the industry. And so they don't need to do anything. They don't need to do anything drastic anymore. They don't need to write real lyrics. It's just more about, if your beat is tight, I like you. That's what it is.
So then are you telling me, I'm going to say Tupac and Biggie only because those are the names that you probably know. Like, let's say, do you know about Curtis Blow? Do you know about Run DMC? Do you know about EPMDs and stuff like that? The trendsetters. Do you, I said Ice Cube. I said NWA. I said Ice-T. Of course, you know about Snoop Dogg. But let's say someone like Tupac. Tupac was a voice for the black people, right? Yeah. That you guys remember. But my voice for the black people was X-Clan, Public Enemy. You guys don't really know about them. And if you were to hear them, matter of fact, I think I played X-Clan a little while back and you laughed at it.
Which one?
It was just, I think I had a Greatest Hits album. But the thing is that with those groups, when it came to Black Power movement or speaking consciously, those were the ones. Boogie Down Productions, stuff like that, right? And then when you think of talking about the hood, you had Ice-T, you had NWA, or Ice Cube when he broke away. Like he was talking about, or they were talking about things that we wanted to hear streetwise, right? Yeah. So do you guys have, let's say, influential people that come with some type of message, positive or negative, in the form of where it's really impactful? Like, let's say, what would you consider today's Tupac?
It's kind of obvious. Today's Tupac would most likely be Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar.
Because how his message is for the black people now. And, like, that's how he... Like, remember when I asked, oh, how he get the key to the city? Right. And they was like, different from... I was different from him in the game. When, you know, the game been out longer, he from L.A., he a, you know, L.A. representative. But you said because Kendrick Lamar has a message to what he's saying. It's
well, game has a message. Well, Kendrick Lamar's, I think Kendrick Lamar's message is, it's considered maybe more positive than what the game is saying because of the fact that Kendrick Lamar, when you hear him say anything, it makes you think above street level. Like you have to pick up a book to understand Kendrick Lamar sometimes. Whereas if you take someone like The Game, you take someone like Nipsey Hussle, which I also think have message, YG, all of them, they're almost like today's modern age NWA. They have things to say, but because the world is more broken than it probably was consciously broken. It's always been broken. But now it's more consciously broken where my generation of people are kind of adapting to today's market and trying to accept it. So Kendrick Lamar's message crosses over to the ages. Game and Nipsey Hussle, their message crosses over, but it's more street than anything. And when you hear it straight up, you're like, dang, they still promoting this stuff that we trying to move away from. Like people my age, you know, it's more or less, dang, our kids are out there in the street. We trying to keep our kids' minds off of it. But we know that Kendrick Lamar had those street ties. It's just the fact that he doesn't deliver it as that. He delivers a wake up type message. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like a wake up and step out type message. But when I'm listening to you guys' music, the music sounds high. The way that you guys create, the process of going into music, like you guys don't really have to mix the way that we were so, oh, it got to sound like this, the frequencies, the decibels, and all that stuff that me and Max always laugh about, because nowadays it's like, let's just put the record out. And people love it. And I can't hate on that because I wasn't big on mixing. I just made sure all my stuff was in pocket, but I was never big on mixing down to the point where it just had to hit right on every device that you put it in. But now you've gotten to the point where you're like, okay, Dad, my mixes needs to be a little bit better. Before you didn't care. But even remembering the process of you making beats, when you came to me, I bought you the equipment, then you like, Dad, show me how to make beats. What'd I tell you?
I gotta teach myself.
Right, I said no. And the reason I said no was because if I held your hand through the process, even though you became me somewhat, you still had to develop your own style, your own craft, and what you believed in. And in addition to that, I got to give you credit because you took my influence, created your own influence, and then you're able to do something I can't do, which is make today's music. I can't make today's music because I don't have the ear for today's music because I'm still trying to relate to it.
Yeah.
When I was making beats back in the day, or even how I make beats now, I make beats based on what I could relate to. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. Will it sell today? Heck no, it ain't gonna sell.
Like, it's funny to me when I know you want to like a song from now, but then it's like something in your head, you like, I don't want to like it, but I like it. Like, when you listen to a beat, you be like, I like the beat. I like it. I mean, I'll be like, why don't you just like the song when you know you could get into it if you hear it? Like, I know you hear some songs from today you don't really brush off. Like, you want to like it, but then you be like, then again, what are they saying? I don't. It's like it wouldn't fit your image if you like it.
I'm not gonna say it don't fit my image. It doesn't fit what I represent. I think that everything, and this is what I'm saying, everybody has an ear or a liking to what they like. Like, if it's so weird that me being from LA, but I was influenced mostly by East Coast music. East Coast as in New York style, from that area, right?
Yeah.
And especially from my gang bang past, it's like, dang, I rap like a battle rapper, but my life back then was like, oh man, he a hoodie. You follow what I'm saying? But it's all about influence. And so when I'm listening to today's music, you're absolutely right. I listen to it and I'll be bumping to it. I'm like, damn, what is he talk? Like, okay, they high. They gotta be high. Or like even sometimes when I hear the song and they rapping about something and I said, dude, I hope they didn't write that. You get what I'm saying? Because there's just certain stuff that you don't even want to admit that you wrote. Now, if you freestyle it or if you was clowning around, that's one thing. But I'd be like, dang, I hope they didn't write that. Because it's just something that you wouldn't write. It's something that you would joke about. But I don't hate today's music. I guess I just try to understand it. You get what I'm saying? So like when you sit down now, do you hear old school hip hop or do you hear today's music? Or is it a combination of both?
It's not really old school no more. I don't hear no old school. Unless we trace it back to people that's kind of like old school, like you listen. The only.
Oh, I'm only saying this because you said that our beats are still alive, but the words are dead. So what makes our music still alive? Like, how is our music relevant today as far as music? I'm just saying music, not whole songs. We just talking about beats. Are my generation of music, our beats, are they relevant in today's market? In all honesty.
Yeah, because you still be finding people on your feed that sound like battle rappers from the 90s. Like, you still have people that's trying to.
But battle rappers are lyrics. I'm saying music.
Are you saying so? You saying beat wise?
Yeah, I'm saying beat wise.
Beat wise, the beats ain't died. I mean, some beats be just like 3 keys, 4 keys, and then it just play out the whole song. But when I be like, some beats really be still triggering, like it have little stuff in there. Like, you be like, dang, like I didn't even notice that. You gotta listen to the song again just to hear, just to hear like little stuff beneath what you thought you already heard, but you didn't. Like, and then beats, we still do sampling. Sampling hasn't died. I don't think sampling ever died.
Okay, so can I throw you off and say something like this? Who's your, and these are questions that we used to get back in the day, as far as who our influences were. Who is your favorite producer of today?
So I mean,
no, just if you get one, because I'm gonna ask you another question.
So only one?
Yeah, who is your favorite producer of today?
I would say, I would say Metro Boomin, because Metro Boomin, he make beats like 90s type, like they not too extra, but you could still get. He make like you said a long time ago. He make two-stepping beats. But then I like Future's producer. I like Zaytoven.
Okay.
Because Zaytoven use sounds that I would want to use. Like
sounds
has,
like
a futuristic type vibe. Like he has, I don't know if he makes the sounds, but like he has sounds that
like
you
the
can relax
and the
to.
ambient.
Like he has sounds you can relax to. Like I really like Zaytoven's beats. Like
okay, and then who's your favorite producer of, let's say, my generation?
I couldn't tell you that. But yeah, I would.
No, but it's cool because I can't tell you the.
I would say you, because you know your beats back then was crazy. Like you would have
back then. Oh, so I don't have dope beats now.
No,
because we did Insane, and everybody like Insane.
No, I loved Insane because man, I was the first person before you even. Well, you already was saving it for me, but then I was like, I said, man, I was already rapping it. Like when I was at my mom's house, the first time you played out, like I went through the video, I'm like, hold on, he made that. And like, cause like you ain't made a beat like that in a long time, so I'm like, he really made this beat. I'm already having it. That's why I'm really chilling. I already had that in my head, and I was just like, you don't know how anxious I was to come back home and make that song, cause it was already in my head that whole time. Like, damn, I really got this. This beat is tight.
You know why I made that beat?
What?
Because of the fact that you and Darian and Destiny always say, Dad, you make old people beats, or that I don't make beats the same.
Like some sleepers, like they be some beats you be like.
Because I guess because of the fact that sometimes I just make beats just to be creative or just to start something, but I can't name too many of today's rappers. Producers, but I know the rappers who have rapped on them. Just like when you say name of today's rapper, I can name all the ones that maybe be on the radio, which I don't even listen to radio that much. And it's funny because even when I produced back in the day, I didn't listen to a lot of rap. I always listened to the Temptations or anything out of Motown era. So people would always say, how are you a rapper and how are you making these kind of beats when you don't even listen to this music that much?
But you see, I'm different. Look who I grew up with. I grew up with a man. And then the grandpa, like y'all listen. Well, I mean, your dad introduced you to all the Temptations and the Dramatics and stuff like that. Then you had us while we was growing up listening to that type of stuff. So it's like, for me, it's different. Like, I'm not one of the rappers that be like, oh, I don't know who that is. Like, somebody could really ask me like, oh, what you know about that? I'll be like, I'll just go back to you like, oh, my pops always had me listening to this type of music, so that's why I have an ear for it. Like, some people just be like, I didn't listen to that, so I don't really know what to tell you. I can't get all in the detail about them because, of course, I wouldn't know the history. I just know what I've heard.
Right, and it's the same thing here. I don't know I'm not gonna say I don't know the history of today's music because I know when the scene changed. But name wise, I just don't know it because I'm a parent when I listen, and just like.
See, you gotta get out of that.
I know, but just like my favorite producers of back when, I could say, I can't name one either, cause it's a combination of a bunch of things. I like Pete Rock. I like DJ Premier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are probably my most influential. I like Eric Sermon. You know, Dr. Dre.
If I tell you a producer from back in your day that I like, I can't really say that because I still today be asking who mixed that song, and then you'll say I think it's somebody, but then you'll be like, no, that's this dude. I'm like, I don't even know who this dude is. But like everybody got their own type of beat, but like you'll think it's one person and it's not. Like that's why when you said who's your favorite producer from y'all era, I couldn't tell you because I wouldn't know who made.
Do you have a favorite rapper of my era?
I probably not. Cause I like too much old music. So it's like I don't even when my friends ask me like, who was your favorite rapper in the 90s? I couldn't say because it's so.
Okay, throw out a name. If somebody say name a 90s rapper, who would you name?
Like off the top?
Yep. Like, hurry up and answer. Like the police finna say where you live.
Oh man, I'll just go with Biggie, cause that's who I like. Like I really.
Okay,
like
what do you like about Biggie though?
I don't know his flavor. I don't know his flavor was crazy to me. Like people.
So okay, so you like Biggie over Tupac?
Tupac, like.
And it's crazy how those two were compared, and they were totally different type of rappers.
Real different type. That's why.
Their whole image, their whole scene was different.
You can't be mad because it was.
No,
different.
but here's the problem though. This is what, and I told you this before. What happened with Tupac and Biggie is one represented the East Coast, one represented the West Coast. So it was like it forced everybody to choose a side. Mm-hmm. That's what it was about. It was about sides. And it's funny because you would think that it would have been a Blood Crip type of choice, but it wasn't that. It was a Coast choice. You follow what I'm saying? And so that's what Tupac and Biggie represented for the masses, right? Because the music was different. I think Biggie was more hip hop, but street, a combination of hip hop and street. But the flow, delivery, and all of that, it was not like Tupac's. Tupac, I consider him just street knowledge, but to the point of it was almost like an any means necessary type thing with Pac. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? But my favorite, my favorite group, I think, of the 90s was probably Wu-Tang, maybe, or Mobb Deep, maybe, or Gang Starr, maybe, or Pete Rock and CL Smooth, maybe. That's group-wise. But rapper-wise, I'll go with Redman, because he was zany, but he had flow. I could go. Oh man!
See, you say Redman, I'll say Method Man. I like Method Man.
Method Man had a different type of swag. I didn't look to Method Man for lyrics. I looked to Method Man for his posture.
But his lyrics is crazy.
No, they were crazy. But I'm saying with Redman, Method Man, I chose Redman only because of the delivery. I chose Method Man because he string you all the way back and make you calm down. But then I liked Old Dirty Bastard. And Old Dirty Bastard was just Old Dirty Buck Wild. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? I like the Fugees as a group. Like, there's so many people that can pop in my head, so I get not being able to choose one. I don't like when people ask that, choose your... I don't have a favorite. I got favorites.
That's how it is for me.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So even in today's era, who's my favorite? I like Kendrick Lamar. I like Drake, and it's funny because even with Drake, like, I remember when Drake first came out, Will hit me up like, dude, you was doing this a long time ago. And I said, I get it, but I can't hate because I didn't push forward with it. Because, you know, I tell you guys all the time, I wasn't, becoming a rapper wasn't my motivation. I wanted street credibility versus stage presence, because I know what I had to live through day to day. I know that my name in the streets was more important to me than my name on stage. Mm-hmm. You know, it wasn't a money thing because of where our family was at the time, financially. You get what I'm saying? But now, if I had to name today's favorite rapper, Kendrick Lamar. I like Drake. I like J. Cole. I like mixtape J. Cole though. I like mixtape J. Cole.
That's what I'm saying. You like people that stay relevant to the 90s.
Yeah. So then Joey Badass.
Yeah, you like you're not gonna like no rapper with the.
No, I like the Migos.
You ain't like Migos because they mainstream though. When Migos went mainstream, that's when they start attracting more people.
I respect Cardi B for her hustle. I respect Cardi B because the transition that she does. She's very humble. She's a shit talker, but she's humble. I like Nicki Minaj. I respect the ladies of today's rap, just like I like the MC Lights of my era. Yeah. I like the Lil Kims of my era. I like the Foxy Browns of my era. You get what I'm saying? But I feel that today's market, I'm trying to understand, like Tekashi 6ix9ine. Can't hate on him. He got to hustle. You know what I mean? And I think the expectation is this, and let me keep it real. Coming from where I come from, if you say you a gangster, prove it, right?
Yeah.
But it's not to the point where someone like Tekashi 6ix9ine, and I like how he said, I'm somebody with rainbow hair and rainbow teeth. Why you tripping off of me? G's ain't finna trip off Tekashi. It's a waste of time for us. You get what I'm saying? And when I say waste of time, not that he's not a hoodie, maybe in his own area, but I'm saying, one, come on, dude, he's happy. He ain't what we are streetwise. He ain't red ragging to the point where we consider red ragging or blue ragging. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking forward to be, if you saying you crippin' like me, I want to see that rag on the left side. If you say you a blood, let me see it on the right side. You get what I'm saying? We zoom into that kind of stuff, or claim a number. Yeah. Who your big homies? Who your G's? Because G's, back when I was coming up, your G's kept you alive. Your G's kept the order we had. We had rules. And the rules are different today. Everybody's a blood or a crip. It's a fad now. I get it. I understand it, because we all became what we were based on where we lived. Mm-hmm. That's why I never really hated on Bloods, because I'm like, okay, if I lived over there, I would be that. And I say lived because remember, my dad when I go see my dad, I was hanging out in Inglewood. Got a bunch of homies from Inglewood, but I'm coming from the east side. You get what I'm saying? But to say in today's market, like, I guess if you had to tell me, okay, Dad, this is why you need to like today's music, how would you sell that to me? How can you sell me on today's music?
That would be very hard to sell you on today's music. And only for the fact of you're not going to get into it. Because then you have to figure out, you have to just pick so many pieces to where you just going to give up. You're going to have to figure out what they're saying. Then you have to figure out, then you have to see their look. Just like when I showed you that little boy, and you like, this is a kid, but he rapping about shooting people, you know?
Because I think of the realism. But let me tell you how you can sell me on today's music. You can sell me on today's music by saying this. It's creative. We've taken what you guys planted and took it to a whole nother level. Mm-hmm. Right? Because I do respect the creativity, although, you know, a lot of it has to do, it's more put this on top of this, put this on top of this, microwave wise, meaning faster. Then we did the same thing. We took a bunch of samples. We would have 50 sample, I'm talking about sound parts or songs, different songs, and put them on top. Like in the underground and hip hop, what I was in, we could take John Clemmer and put him over Stanley Clark and make it work. It wasn't about taking it wasn't about taking multiple samples from the same song. We would take different parts and create. And I'm not talking about drums. I'm talking about actual sample, sound, instrumental parts. Of course, drums come from different areas. But now, today, you guys can even have songs with no snare in it. Y'all won't even have no kick drum. Y'all have a sub in it, playing a part of a bass drum. Then you'll have maybe a hi-hat or two, or just the way you guys shuffle. Like the things that you guys do now, it's funny because I call them happy accidents from my era. Like when I would hold note repeat to make my snares go a certain way. Now that's the thing to do. Now you guys got tutorials on how to do that. I'm like, damn, I did that and I didn't. Only reason I remember how I did it is because of the fact that I could recreate that sound. Right? I like the creativity of today's music. I like the passion that you guys have about today's music. And in a lot of cases, I respect, especially now that I go back and I'm like, okay, I'm taking back to my old stuff. And I'm like, damn, I was saying similar stuff, but in my way. Now you guys are saying it your way. I can't hate on that. You get what I'm saying? But these are the things that I like about. I'll take you. You got tired of me saying no. about holding your hand and making. Now, when you ask me questions about certain stuff, I'll answer it. But like I said, I'm not gonna hold your hand. But you've taken what influenced you, like you said. I was an influence on you. The music that I listened to was an influence because I noticed that you sample a lot of Motown style, stuff. But in addition to that, you can add the hi-hats, you can add the drum patterns the way that you guys use them today and recreate your own thing, and then take some lyrical influence from my era and piece it together with what your era is. You know, I say, dang man, you gotta come up with a more flow. You're like, but why, Dad? We don't flow like it. Ain't about that no more. And it throws me off, but then I gotta step back and say, I get it. I understand it. You follow what I'm saying? But I think for quote unquote old heads like me, it's a lot of it, and I gotta speak for myself. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact of me being a parent, that I have something to say, parental, about what today's music does to the mind. Because I remember when I was growing up, when my parents and my grandparents would be like, man, that music affects y'all brains. And I'm like, nah, music ain't got no vibe over me. Music can't control me. But then I think about it, like, heck yeah.
This what y'all doing right now.
I have my theme music though. Like, I have music that I would actually listen to before I go to a club to prepare me in case somebody talking smack to me in the club. That's why all my songs were like that. That's why the stuff I rapped about was try me if you want to. You get what I'm saying? So I get it. I needed theme music. You know, and I always think of theme music when I think of I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. You know, they had theme music in their songs, but I just think, you know, that I have to admit a lot of my stubbornness towards today's music is just the fact that I become my parents. Like, I literally became my parent. I remember every time I used to play anything out the 90s, my dad would come in there, man, throw the Temptations on, throw the Dramatics on. You don't know nothing about no Charlistics, but I did. He just didn't know that I was really paying attention to it. You get what I'm saying? So the only thing I can say, keep doing what you do because of the fact that you believe in it. In addition to that, music matures as you mature. And when I say mature, I mean, this is the thing. And I tell people this all the time. When I first started making beats and I got my first sound module, I tried to use every sound up in that module to create beats because I liked everything. Then as I matured with my control over the music, I started taking certain things out. I started piecing certain things together. So when I say the maturity of music, I don't mean it being immature. I mean how you deliver, how you put your voice over a song, how you piece things together where you start learning how to make your voice become an instrument so you don't need that many sounds to help layer the songs because your voice becomes another sound. You get what I'm saying? You know how sometimes my songs be like skeletons, and then once I rap on it, you be like, oh, that's how it went. That's why he did it that way. That's how I make my beats, right? But I pay attention to your creative process. I pay attention to now how you starting to hear things and put things together. And I've also paid attention to how much of my generation impacted this generation to the point where you have become me, meaning I didn't know all the people that I was sampling from. I didn't know of them until I started pulling from them. I'm like, dang, I remember my grandfather used to listen to these jazz stations. Oh, who is that? I asked my grandfather who it was. Oh, that's such and such. And then I'll try to look for it in a record, right? Just like sometimes you come in and say, hey, Dad, who is that? And I say, oh, this is such and such. Like, it is funny that you guys can sample stuff out of the 90s, and that's considered old school for y'all. Where we were going back to the 60s, the 50s, and the 70s, pulling out songs to sample.
See, that's what I mostly sample. Like, I like jazz sounds sampling, or like sometimes I just sample a piano instrumental just cause like those would be the easiest things to sample for me. Cause you know sometimes stuff from the 70s, it already have a drum on it and stuff. So then you got to try to master drums.
Right.
So I get stuff from way back where it was just the horn, the piano playing, or like a little bass line, you know? So, yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a question. and this is just me asking a real question. What is your least favorite thing about today's music?
My least favorite thing is probably just it's my least favorite thing, to be honest, is probably just the rap part. Like, I don't like that. Like, even for myself, like, I have to feel like you gotta sound a little bit dumbed down to get on. Like, cause they don't play real rap on the radio no more. They won't. Nobody cares about that, you know?
Right.
All you hear on the radio now is a good beat and then whatever somebody put on top of it. You know?
And then what would you consider your favorite thing about today's music?
My favorite thing would, like I said earlier, just have to be the beats. Just like when Darian, like, we'll be in his car, you know, of course, like, back in, you know, like 2007s and the 6, whatever, 2005, it was about bass, right?
Right.
Like, everything had to be bassy. So that's what started it, you know?
Right.
Like, I would say, like, after the 2007s and stuff, like when 2000, you know, like 2012 or 2011 and stuff hit, Chief Keef was the first person to start that track. Because we didn't know what he was saying, but his producer had them beats to make you be like, it's making it sound tight. But Chief Keef now, he changed his flow. Like, he's not just rapping like, oh, you know, just saying all types of stuff. Like, he's starting to really rap now sometimes. Like, and his beats is getting better. Like, what he rapping over getting better. But now it's still more about the type of bass you have, or how you can make this sound with that sound. Like, how you gonna make that into a hit? How you gonna make this to where people really want to listen to this? Like, it don't have to sound that good, but it gotta sound catchy. If it don't sound catchy, who's gonna listen to it? All you have to have now is a great hook, something to keep you interested. Migos have great hooks. Drake have like the best hooks I've ever heard. You could go to Drake's old songs and still be like, dang, this is still hitting, because it's like the hooks he have are great. People now, it's not just about, oh, who the best MC, who gonna keep you intrigued into their lyrics, who got the best lyrics. We got that. We know who has that. We already know J. Cole, like J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, and like rappers like that, they can do that because they know it's gonna go mainstream. Right. I can't come out and be like rapping real rap and feel like and think that it's gonna get on the radio, because I know it's not. I know it's not gonna get on the radio. So now you in a position like, all right, I can't really rap, so now I gotta dumb myself down. So then you just make a futuristic type beat, or you make like a beat that's just gonna put somebody relaxed, because everybody's smoking now. It's legal. So now you start making stuff, okay, let me make something that's just gonna relax somebody, or just something with a lot of noise. Right. So when they high, they not hearing what you saying, they just hearing all the sounds you got in your beat. Then it's just like, all right, you got put on, now you doing shows, now you getting money. So it's just like, you don't have to really be, somebody's not going to say, oh, hey man, once you come to the studio, just be ready to rap for us. No, you're going to show them what you got. You're going to put it on their monitor, say you got a beat already, or you be like, all right, drop me a beat. Then you sit there, write whatever you write, your little lyrics or whatever. And then all you got to do now, we got auto-tune. Y'all wasn't using auto-tune like that in the 90s unless y'all was like really trying to sing and struggling, you know. Now, all you need is the auto-tune, a good beat, good hook, you famous. Like,
it's crazy too, because I'm thinking about the sound. I don't see you being lazy on your beats though. So lyrically, yes, you dumb down, but beat wise, like, what goes into your creative process for beats? Like, how do you approach a beat? Do you start, it's funny, like, do you start out with drums, or do you start out with your melody? Your instrument?
It depends. Like, if I already got a drum pattern in my head. I'm gonna lay it down first, you know. But most of the times I do go on and I do my piano. I try to find my piano first because then that's gonna let me know what type of lyric I'm gonna write. Mm-hmm. So if I got like a grand piano, like or something you play like a hall piano, then like I'm gonna try to write something more serious. If I got like a piano that sound, you know, playful, like kitty type, then I'm gonna rap something that's probably gonna sound a little dumb, cause it's like I don't need to really rap on this, or just like Pierre Bourne. He another producer I already like because his beats is like they sound like somebody gonna like really rap, but they don't really need to rap to it. Like they don't really need to show how hard they can rap because his beats is really like that tight. You don't even have to listen to the beats carry the song. Yes, you don't have to listen to the artist to get into his beat. You know, for me, when I'm in the process of making a beat, I mostly just rely on my name.
So because we're gonna close out, this is what I'm gonna say. Mm-hmm. If someone came to you and says, "What makes Cosmic a dope producer? What makes Cosmic a dope rapper?" What would you say?
For the producer part, what make me dope is I live up to my name. I'm gonna, if anything, I'm gonna make something sound as outer space as I can, cause that's my name. You know, that's what I'm doing. I don't want to rap like a thug. I'm not no thug. You know. I even make like even the songs I do sound hard or do sound like I'm gang banging. I make sure like I make it known like that's not what I'm about. It's just like a more like don't test me, you know. Mm-hmm. Like everybody gonna be like that. Don't test me. You don't know, who out there that could really start killing and murdering people, you know. Right. But like I make it known I'm more of a vibe. Like I got homies that be like, man, you starting to sing a little more now. It's just like, cause that's when I hear Cosmic. Say I blow it. When you hear Cosmic, you don't hear, oh man, this dude about to get on the mic and start spitting some fire. Like of course I'm gonna still spit some real rap. But you don't think, oh, Cosmic he gonna sound like 90s. You hear Cosmic, he's gonna sound like somebody that's gonna chill. You know, he gonna lay back, or he gonna have music that's just gonna. You have to really, like, you just gonna listen, sit there. And
so like a float into outer space.
Yeah, basically, like outer space type, or you just hear like a lot of melody in it, or like like when Victor be telling me, like he said you like your songs to have a lot of singing in it, or like when he be saying like I drag it out. Most time I drag out the song because I like how I make that sound. Like, I like how, cause after sometimes I'll be hearing my stuff in my headphones, I'll be like really getting hype. I'll be like, that's really tight. Most people not gonna mess with it cause I'm not popping right now, but it's about the confidence you have in your own
music. Let me pause. You're not popping right now. For one, I tell you you're not popping right now because you're not stepping out. Mm-hmm. You're in college. I told you need to take advantage of being in college, getting your name around people, letting people know what you do. People knew that when I approached the scene, people knew who I was based off my reputation. How do you get your reputation? People gotta know you. Yeah. You can't rap for your homies. Your circle is probably your most poisonous audience ever because of the fact that they're gonna always tell you you're dope because they're waiting on you to get on so that they can ride in a car. Exactly. And I don't mean the actual car. I mean the car or the bus that's gonna take you to the top.
That's why I'll be low-key.
You get what I'm saying? But by you being in college, by you being someone that people want to know, and you're an approachable person, you can take advantage of that and use it. That's how most of these guys get on. Mm-hmm. They go out there and they make it happen. You gotta have a passion. You gotta have a desire. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And you don't have what I had when I was your age. I had to worry about being a dad. You get what I'm saying? I had to worry about things that you don't have to worry about. It's just you. Mm-hmm. So you can take those chances. You can go out and make it happen. And the thing is, you can be the wackest rapper in the world. But if you keep pushing in people's ear, your sound, they'll eventually bite on it. And I always go back to when people used to hate on Master P. Master P used to flood the market with his music. No Limit is all you heard. And he blew up, took off, and then became a trendsetter for the South. You get what I'm saying? And you know, I was around it because he was cool with our cousin. You follow what I'm saying? But you got to believe in yourself enough to know that there is a way to compete against what's up and now. The hot, but you have to sell it. It's not about whether you're dope or not lyrically. It's about whether you're dope or not with your presentation. You know what I mean? Like Busta Rhymes was always dope to me because he was always wilding out. Reminded me of when I had my hair and stuff like that, but people liked his character. You follow what I'm saying? Now today y'all like his flows because he didn't took that Twister vibe to just mix with Busta Rhymes. Mm-hmm. So he wilding out and he got the flow. You follow what I'm saying? But I think for you, and I'm going to say it again because we always talk about it, you need to say, okay, these are, because you keep on doing songs. You keep on putting them on SoundCloud. You get a few views off of that, but just imagine if you hit a stage. Colleges have talent shows. Colleges have showcases. Mm-hmm. Or colleges have scenes. They have people that say, oh, man, we finna go over here to this lounge and we got a homie that's finna perform. Oh, how can I get on? How can I perform? You don't have to pay for every performance. Some of them do cost, some of them don't. But people get on by being visual. You get on YouTube, you start shooting videos. It don't have to be with a major camera. You got an iPhone. You can do all of that stuff. You can take advantage of your skill set and use it to monetize or use it to become what you're dreaming to be. But I think that the worst thing is just getting in that space where, like I said, I messed up because what was important to me wasn't being on the stage. And when I listened to my stuff from back then, I'd be like, damn, I had so much talent. I just wasn't tripping because it wasn't about the money. We had that. It wasn't about the popularity. I had that. But why was I so selfish with my music? It's what I have to say to myself now. If you got a talent, you got to share it. You're not giving talent just for you. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? And so if you believe in yourself enough to say, I'm going to record this song, I'm going to finish this song, then you need to believe in yourself to say, I'm going to share this with more than just my homies. Your homies are poison, man. Your homies are poison to the point of even in the world that I come from let's say gangbanging, your homies are poison because they gonna tell you, oh, you the hardest dude I know. Or man, you trying to be down, then you gotta do this. That's poison. Everything is about life and advancement. Them the kind of people you want around you to push you forward. I'm not hating on nothing gang related. I'm not hating on nothing homie wise. You know that. You get what I'm saying? But I'm just saying on the point, you need people that's going to push you forward, not help you stay backwards or not tag along just because of the fact that they want to ride. Mm-hmm. When Tiny Dog hit me up last night, I was like, I watched you. I watched why you didn't come out. I watched why you had so much talent and you had so many people behind you that you could have been the next such and such. But it didn't happen because you were worried about what other people were gonna say who was in your ear about you got a wife that ain't down with you doing music because want you to work, or you trying to be out here and be known in the streets. You had talent. I'm like, I can't argue it. But now that I see my son doing it, I'm like, you got all of these homies with you. You got all of these creatives with you. Why waste that? Why sleep on that? That's a crackhead move. Crackheads got talent. They just don't realize it because they rather stay high. So they miss opportunities. You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But yeah, dope conversation. I have learned to like today's music. I don't. It's not that I even hate it. I'm just a parent when I listen. Mm-hmm. you know, but get off SoundCloud. Get off Instagram. I told you that. Meaning, let more people hear it. Let people see you. Instagram, you can be a model for that. But you got to get on the stage. You got to show video of what you actually do. Even video of your creative process. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. How you go into making your beats and what you do. You got to market. You just got to take advantage of it. You feel me? Yeah. All right, man. Tell them what your Instagrams and all of that stuff is if you want them to follow you. Or you could tell them, hey, I'm going to be on the stage soon. Because I'm going to expect that.
I'll be on the stage soon because, you know, I know I got to get out there more. And I know I got to present my stuff, man, because I got to get out of my circle.
Comfort zone.
Yeah, come from my comfort zone, and I got to get out of my circle because...
Not get out of it.
Not necessarily get out of it. I'm saying like expand my circle, like get like so I don't feel like if one of my peoples tell me like, oh, I don't like it, then I'll be like, damn, I probably gotta change this thing, like, cause they're not the only, you know, they're not the only people that is gonna.
Well, they're not gonna buy you. They're not gonna purchase nothing. Yeah. You have a concert. Oh, they're gonna have backstage passes because them your homies. Yeah. So that you don't make money off your homies because you're not even gonna feel good in charging them for nothing.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good interview. Handle that. That's it. Now that was some good coffee. If you enjoyed this video, cruise around the channel and see other content. Also hit that subscribe button and you'll be notified when I make new videos. Once again, I am Dkhairho. Plug in, get connected. We are TMR.
Dkhairho did this.